I'm like talking about him like I've read anything about him, but I haven't played that game in a long time. There's Shadow Selves, maybe Tom Taylor's one. I kind of feel like I have to read it. So many characters I don't care about, so many plot lines I don't care about.
Keep on coming. I'm sure I can do it alone. Caught wind of the warning.
Let's go over everything I plan to read for February. So for the new releases, we have the Absolute Batman Volume 2 trade. They're starting to come out with the Volume 2 trades, so I'm going to try to collect them now. These are probably the issues that I haven't read yet, because I read all the first 6 issues of each Absolute line, but I intentionally stopped after 6 issues. I didn't want to try to get too many books at the same time, and I think it'll be easier to read as trades anyway, and I'm excited about this one because this is like the Bane arc. Next we have Batgirl 16. This one should be the final one of the arc, or at least, you know, there's something new coming, because she's going back to Gotham in issue 17, so we'll see how that is. It definitely is dragging a lot in this plot, and there's so many characters I don't care about, so many plot lines I don't care about. I am hoping that, you know, we kind of wrap things up a little bit more in this issue, in this upcoming issue, and then when she goes back to Gotham, something fresh, something new. Batman number 6. This one is reminiscent of kind of like older Batman comics, like Legend of the Batman or the Legend of the Dark Knight, especially the cover. But I'm really enjoying this series. I'm really liking the episodic nature of it, very contained story, and then there's like this overarching thread as well. I think it's really exciting. Night Fight number 4. This one is the Damian-centric issue. We'll see how that is. They teased him a little bit in issue 3 with him having a son. We'll see if these characters even come back too, because this is a final issue. But I really like the designs of all these older Robin Batman suits. I think there's a lot of potential to play with him in this way. I mean, like Terry McGinnis's Batman Beyond comes back a lot. At least the suit comes back a lot. So maybe these suits would come back a lot. I think it's kind of wasted if they don't. Cyclops number 1. Yes, I am getting back into Marvel. I am trying to get back into Marvel. They do a lot of number 1s, so I think it's easy to get to a number 1, even if it's technically not a real number 1, like the upcoming Moon Knight one, where it's just a new arc and they're relaunching. Cyclops, I think, will be a good jumping off point. I would hope so, at least. I missed the Rogue one, which I could still read, but I mean, like, I just didn't get it, and I don't know if I wanted to or not. I was iffy on the Rogue one, which is why I didn't get it. I definitely like Cyclops, so I'm gonna look out for that one, get that one, and then maybe keep reading that one. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm gonna try to look into more Marvel, like, upcoming issues and upcoming stories and try to get into those. If not, I will probably just get like Marvel trades. I think trades may be a little bit easier to read. You know, you get the whole arc in one book and stuff like that. DCKO number 4. We have the Absolute Trinity on the cover. I'm kind of under the impression that it's not like actually the Absolute Trinity, and that it's like kind of like their shadow selves or whatever. But I'm interested to see this. I mean, there's 2 more issues of this event left, issue 4 and 5. So issue 4 is probably going to be a lot of fun. But you know, the Absolute characters haven't actually like met each other yet, so I don't see why the Trinity would be involved in this at all. Only Batman and Wonder Woman have met, and they literally just met, so it's pretty fresh. Immortal Legend Batman number 6. This one is the final issue of this Elseworld series. We only have 1 more issue left, but I still kind of feel iffy about the book. I think there's just like this weirdness about the book that it doesn't really fully follow through with some aspects of the story. It kind of like focuses on things that I'm not really interested in, and I think that might be the like confinement of only 6 issues and introducing a new sci-fi world. Maybe if there's more issues down the line, it could be expanded upon. We'll see. For now, I think it's just kind of an okay series. Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 2. This is another Volume 2 that I'm excited about. I'm excited to read more Absolute Wonder Woman. This is definitely my favorite of all the Absolute series. We'll see how this story arc pans out. I actually don't know what happens in this story arc. I think this one is the Labyrinth. I could be wrong. Maybe the Labyrinth would be pushed to Volume 3. We'll have to see. But I'm excited about it. The Deadly Hands of Kunlun. I'm excited about this one specifically for Lin Lee, Iron Fist. You know, I think Danny Rand is okay. You know, I'm not like a huge hater of Danny Rand or, you know, a huge fan of him either. I think I'm pretty neutral on him. I think I definitely lean a little bit more not a fan of him. I really like Lin Lee. You know, he's still pretty new. I like Swordmaster. I like Lin Lee. I've read Ages of Atlas. So I kind of been familiar with Lin Lee in that way. Obviously, you know, I played Marvel Rivals. He has been my main for a while, but I haven't played that game in a long time. So I still really like Lin Lee, and I'm interested to see what they do here, because this is a number 1. This is an issue 1. I don't know anything about this story, but maybe there'll be some cool stuff about Iron Fist and, like, you know, dividing the power, having multiple Iron Fists at the same time. Maybe they'll turning it into, you know, like a Green Lantern situation where they can share the power and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. Batman 135. Dexter Soy's coming back into Nightwing as the artist just for this one issue, and this is the final one of this arc. I'm excited about and like scared about. You know, I'm excited to see the finale. I'm scared about how it's gonna end. Excited also really for the next arc too. I'm curious to see how Dan Waters is gonna do the story in the next arc, because it's very clear that he's kind of like dismantling Nightwing, kind of breaking him down to build him up, kind of thing. You're getting rid of the Titans Tower, getting rid of his sister, his fortune. You know, a lot of things are being stripped away from him. So I'm curious to see like what exactly is left and like what Dan Waters plans to build from him. I do think because of the Zanny and Columbina, it would be cool to see more of those from the comedian troupe. You know, we Capitano, Pantalones, that would be really cool. That'd be really fun. If that was the through line in Dan Waters' story, having those as villains, that would be really, really interesting. Titans 32. This is just tying into the recent one shot of The Kids Are All Fight. And it's kind of, I guess, you know, part of that, you know, those two are kind of a package deal of a prelude to the New Titans team. You know, I'm not sure if I want to read the New Titans team. We don't really know who's on the team yet besides like John Kent Superman, but I am curious about the New Titans team enough to want to get this kind of prelude into that and then actually start reading the New Titans team. We'll see how long I actually keep up with it. You know, I'm interested enough to try to see, you know, how the story is and stuff like that. I do want to read more Titans, like, you know, retroactive Titans. The issues before this of the main Titans team, the Rebirth one, you know, maybe Tom Taylor's one. I did want to read more of Titans Academy. I read that when it came out, but I hardly remember anything about it. So I just know that Red X was done really dirty. Wonder Woman 30. This is the second part of Stephanie Williams' two issue arc in the mainline Wonder Woman. I really like the first one, and you know, it's only going to be 2 issues, so it's not going to be this huge massive story. I really like how she writes the supporting cast of Wonder Woman, the Wonder Girls, the Amazons. I think it's a lot of fun, and I hope maybe she becomes the main writer of the Wonder Woman series. It would be really, really cool if we got literally anyone else but Tom King. Who knows if that's going to happen sooner or later. I'm sure it'll happen, maybe even announcement like within the next couple months. I can't imagine that he is on that book for a whole nother year, but we'll see. I do think the mainline Wonder Woman desperately needs a new writer. If not, they can just, you know, do the Action Comics, Detective Comics route, give her Sensation Comics back again, and then have like Stephanie Williams, Kelly Thompson be on that book. I think she desperately needs some sort of like second book, like Sensation Comics. You know, Superman and Batman can get away with it. She can definitely get away with it. You know, I think sales be damned. Like, I don't care if that book doesn't even sell well. Like, she needs to have something consistent like that. And then I have like 3 older books that are on my bookshelf that I want to try to get through. I usually have a little bit more here, but one of them is an omnibus, and I don't want to like overcrowd my reading list to like not be able to get all through all of them. But yeah, the omnibus specifically is the New 52 Nightwing omnibus. But you know, I never got to it last month, and that was on my reading list last month. So hopefully, like kind of pushing down my reading list a little bit, I will have more time and more of an opportunity to read this one. I do want to try to get through Nightwing's kind of whole run here. We'll see how that happens. I mean, I've read Grayson, I've read like some of Rebirth, Tom Taylor's, Grant Morrison's Batman run, but like I'm trying to like reread the ones I haven't read, read the ones I haven't read. New 52 Nightwing is definitely one I have not read. I don't know anything about it. I've been kind of like very purposefully avoiding it because it's New 52 and I don't like the red suit. I kind of feel like I have to read it. So let's see how it is. Maybe I'll like it. We'll see. I'm try to get to it this month. The next Batman, Second Son. This is Jace Fox. I don't know if I should read this or Future State first. I guess this one because Future State is like a future timeline. I was interested in this when they, you know, announced Future State and Infinite Frontier. I thought it was really weird that out of every character they could have chose, Jace Fox was who would be the next Batman. I think it was really weird that he changed his name to Jace of all things. Like, I don't care that he changed his name. I think I kind of get like why he did it, but I think to change it to Jace just feels weird because there's also Jason Todd, and then I think his name originally was Tim, so it's like going from Tim to Jace. I think it could have been something a little bit more creative, a little bit better. We'll see. Maybe it works out. I haven't actually read his book, so maybe there's like context I'm missing, but you know, just from an outsider point of view, the name is a little weird, but I like the idea of his character. He's got an uphill battle because technically he's someone new coming into this space, becoming Batman. And he's also like older too. Like, he's supposed to be the Future State Batman. I think out of all those characters, he's like the oldest, which I thought was weird. Maybe he's younger actually. I'm like talking about him like I've read anything about him. I just know he was Future State Batman. He's the next Batman. And I think he's in New York right now. From what I know about him, I think he's pretty cool. But I think like what a lot of people have said before, I would like to see him and Duke Thomas Thomas team up. I think that would be kind of a really fun dynamic, especially since like Duke doesn't want to be like a sidekick on Robin and whatever, but I think like their partnership of as Signal and Jace's version of Batman, I think there's a lot to balance out, especially like in the way that Robin would like balance out a Batman. I think Duke would balance out a lot of like Jace's kind of inner turmoil. I think that'd be a really fun thing to play with. Too bad like Duke is in limbo right now. I don't know what the hell he's doing in the comics. And then the last book that I plan to read for February is JLA Tower of Babel. I really like the movie that this is based on. That one's really good. And then a lot of people reference it. It's a really popular movie. But I've had the book for a while and I haven't actually read it in my mind because it's like I think a volume 7 or 4 depending on which reprint you get it out of. In my mind I was like, oh well, I have to get the other volumes precursor to this to kind of get like the context to build up to how they got here as a team, as characters. But I think, you know, order be damned. It's a popular story. It's a popular book. I think I'll just read it. It's how comics are anyway. You just read a thing in the middle and then you figure it out from context clues what happened before. And if you want to keep reading, you read it after. If you want to read what happened before, you can just also just pick that up and read it before. So, you know, it's like whatever. But I've had it on my shelf for a while and I haven't gone to it. So I want to try to get to it in February. That is really the case for like a lot of the stuff on here. I've read most of the stuff on my bookcase, but you know, there's still going to be a lot that I gather over the years and just don't have time to read. So I'm trying to see if I can get through them now. I still don't have a lot of free time now, but when I do have free time, I will try to read as much as I can, try to get through everything I have. But yeah, that's everything on my TBR list for February. Let's see if I get through it. It is a shorter month, but you know, I'm gonna try to spend as much free time as I can reading it. Let me know what you guys think of the TBR list, my reading list, and let me know what you guys plan on reading soon.